When you get a diagnosis of diabetes, your whole world changes. You're immediately forced to take a look at your diet, and that can be daunting. But there's plenty of great dishes you can still eat, and Lisa cooked up one of them recently with Chef Edwin Fairhurst from Baylor Medical Center. Take a look.
We are joined now by Chef Edwin from Baylor Medical Center, who is going to show us one dish you might enjoy that will help keep your blood sugar levels low. And you brought Chef Zoe with you. And so the two of you really understand how important it is to cook a specific way for people who are diabetic or maybe pre-diabetic. What's the one secret past just low sugar or no sugar?
Go ahead.
Well, it's just portions are really important, and sometimes when they're eating fruit, like the recipe that will be presenting today, they still have to be really careful with how much they're going to eat. We're going to present watermelon, so watermelon is high in sugar as well as water, but they still have to be really careful with the portions.
Yeah, you have to be careful with your sugars, careful with your carb intake, and all sorts of other things that can actually affect your glycemic levels, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what are you making today? Because it looks fresh and beautiful.
We're making a really amazing salad. You want to go ahead and start with the vinaigrette?
Yeah.
So it's just basically
starting with lemon juice.
Okay.
This is fresh, and I mean the key is fresh. You know, you want to get away from the preserved type foods.
You know, and we hear this all the time when we're talking not just about diabetic cooking, but just about a healthy lifestyle. You know, cutting out the processed foods, getting back to whole foods, and really, I mean, it helps get rid of inflammation in your body, which is a precursor to disease. So this is all just good, no matter how you're deciding.
Right here, we're using honey as a sweet. They could use Splenda in its place.
Right, because you're using just a little bit of honey because that also
it's just the base for to balance the vinegar that's in it. So apple cider vinegar also.
Sometimes I think just because it's honey, it's okay, but they still have to be really careful with the amount. It's sugar anyways.
Right.
So even if they want to add some Splenda, I think that will be a good way of making a vinaigrette. It's just balancing
depending on how
the
extreme
acid that is
their needs are.
Yeah, the vinegar.
Or maybe could they use maybe like stevia, something like that, if they didn't want to use
any substitute that they're using. And I mean, with the diabetics, you want to follow your dietitian's directions and your doctor's directions, and it's very person specific. And I mean, the main basic key is what, when, and how much all the time, and knowing. We'll put a little bit of salt also, and a little bit of pepper. And you want to do these two to taste.
Okay.
And then we got the red chili powder.
Okay.
It's just for the little,
again, to taste
little
or just
bump.
color.
Yeah.
This is a great thing to make like a big batch of and keep in the refrigerator at home.
Sure.
For barbecue nowadays, that you barbecue outside, this is a great option because you're not gonna feel bad just being a diabetic eating this on yourself, by yourself.
Well,
you have the entire family enjoying something delicious and healthy as well.
And on that note, it's like changing the bad habits and replacing them with better habits where you're watching your portion.
Yeah.
I mean, like with this salad, for the extreme diabetic, you probably would only want 6 ounces, 3/4 cup, you know, something like that.
You know, and I think people get I think people get afraid of eating quote unquote healthy because they think it's going to be bland or boring. And I'll tell you something, once you start eating this way and you start eating cleaner, your body responds in a really amazing way, and you really forget about what you're missing. You forget about the donuts and the this and that, and
you feel much
then
better.
You start to learn things too that are better options for yourself.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So for this salad, we are going to use today goat cheese, but as always, you can do feta cheese. Just be careful because of the sodium.
And feta has a lot of sodium.
Absolutely.
Goat cheese is something that we actually use at the Heart Hospital. That's like for an option on their omelets and things like that. It's a little. There's not a high spike of sodium in it and whatnot.
Yeah. We have two herbs here that I think they're going to enhance the flavor here.
The basil
this is
and the
fresh mint and basil.
And this is actually from another chef's personal garden.
Yeah, the personal garden.
That's so nice in the basil. Oh.
We got it just like a basic chiffonade, real thin slice. If you need to cut up more, you can cut it up smaller so that you can. We just like it chiffonade for the color and.
So this is a really fresh summer salad.
Right.
And you're serving it. Is this tilapia?
That's going to be tilapia, absolutely. And so you can serve it with any type of protein, such as tilapia, maybe a salmon, maybe if you just barbecuing outside. I think it would be a great option. Chicken would be a good option as well. So this can go with any type of protein that you might be grilling outside with the family.
It's just beautiful. Can we get a shot of this all mixed up? Because that is so pretty. For more diabetic tips, you can can log on to baylorhealth.edu. I know y'all have great recipes, and you do great work down there. So thanks for being in here, sharing this recipe with us.
Thank you.
Okay, more broadcasts when we return. So pretty.